What legal protections exist for chronic fatigue syndrome patients? Chronic fatigue syndrome, also known as myalgic encephalomyelitis, is recognized as a serious medical condition under U.S. law. This recognition brings with it certain legal protections, especially for those seeking disability benefits. The Social Security Administration acknowledges chronic fatigue syndrome as a legitimate impairment. This means that if your symptoms are severe enough to prevent you from working for at least 12 months, you may qualify for disability benefits. To access these benefits, you will need to provide medical evidence that shows how your symptoms limit your daily activities. This evidence can include clinical signs, symptoms, and laboratory findings that align with established diagnostic criteria. It is important to note that even if objective medical tests do not show clear abnormalities, the Social Security Administration can still recognize your disability if your symptoms and your doctor's assessments are credible. In court cases, claims for disability due to chronic fatigue syndrome have generally been supported when there is sufficient medical documentation. However, some cases have been denied, particularly when the evidence is seen as insufficient. Specialized tests like cardiopulmonary exercise testing can help demonstrate functional impairment but are not the only factor considered. In addition to disability benefits, patients with chronic fatigue syndrome may find protections under broader disability rights laws, such as the Americans with Disabilities Act. This law prohibits discrimination based on disability in various areas, including employment and public services. If you have chronic fatigue syndrome, you may be entitled to reasonable accommodations at work or school. These accommodations could include flexible work hours, additional breaks, or modified job duties to help you manage your symptoms effectively. It is essential that your condition is documented by appropriate medical evidence to qualify for these protections. Legal protections for chronic fatigue syndrome patients primarily include recognition as a medically determinable impairment eligible for Social Security disability benefits, consideration of both subjective symptoms and objective medical evidence in disability determinations, and potential eligibility for workplace accommodations under disability rights laws. If you are a patient seeking legal protections, it is advisable to work closely with your healthcare provider to thoroughly document your condition. You may also benefit from seeking legal advice or advocacy to help navigate the complexities of disability claims and accommodation requests. Understanding your rights and the available resources can empower you to advocate for yourself effectively.